It's reckless football that'll win this.
Someone should tell the game's over. It's not worth getting yourself knocked out about.
Have a go, you big slug. Come on.
Hit the boundary line.
Yates came off the wing and went straight for Dermot Brereton.
Neil Kearney comes in for the kick. And he's put it through the Brothers have hit the front. 1 point and 3 goals to Neil Kearney. 15-8-38. Oh, Vasilico, you're guilty.
Ted, we won this one for you.
It's rolling towards the boundary line at halves almost. Makes ground. He takes it back to shoulder. That's a goal! Oh, what a goal!
That is the gutsiest performance I have ever seen in my life.
Hello and welcome to Footy Flashbacks. Well, footballers come in all shapes and sizes. The two players we're about to hear from are physical opposites. David Schwarz, better known as the Ox, weighed well over 100 kilos in his playing days, and despite a terrible run with injuries, he built his game on brute strength. On the other hand, Matthew Lappin's nickname is Skinny. He was pencil thin. He weighed around 70 kilograms, but he displayed uncanny skills and he really knew where the goals were. Today, Ox and Skinny talk with Neil Kearney about one of the great games they figured in, the 2000 qualifying final between Carlton and Melbourne.
We're on Gosh's Paddock, Collingwood's training ground, just across from the MCG, where the 2000 qualifying final took place. But we're with two of the men who provided highlights through their agility, Matthew Lappin and David Schwarz, the nimble Ox, you were described as by Dennis Committee.
Really? In 2000?
Yes, they said Dennis said you were moving so nimble, so agile, so flexible.
Oh, brilliant. Runs around, nimble as you like, a nimble Ox who kicks the goal.
I think he might have been taking the mickey. I was moving like an ice glacier, and in fact, towards the end of the year, I was getting very tired, so I was slowing down.
Sun is shining down. They started the second qualifying final. Perfect bounce. White goes up and slaps it towards half forward, only as far as Camporelli. Camporelli down towards the half forward line for the Blues. Collins drops back, takes the mark, swings it out wide. McDonald averaging 19 possessions a game this season towards the half forward line. Leoncelli low down, getting a free kick, pushing the back. Leoncelli about 70 metres from goal. Drives it very high. Neitz and Silvani in front. Manton fell at their feet. Silvani clatters in. Hard on Neitz. And a bounce. There's the bounce. Well, neither ruckman touched the ball. Silvani trying to force it through. Mansfield at close quarters. Hickmott brilliantly done. Whistle. And a free kick will come back to Mansfield.
So no score after the opening minute. And the Blues able to get going along the members' wing. Ratton taking the mark and then going back inboard. Is there a switch on? Not particularly. Just the short instead. Freeborn takes the mark. Got someone running on the outer side, Silvani, and a bit of space in front of him as he looks up. Hamill was there, could go longer to Whitnell. No, he decides short is the option. And Hume, who came in as a late change for Bradley. Silvani had kept on going. The crowd was calling for that. Instead, he goes for Whitnell, who was in front and is going to be paid. White got a lot on it.
Here he is coming in late, and the ball just dropped really, and he's marked that. Jeff White has marked that.
Gee whiz.
Well, don't bring in the fourth umpire. Don't mention it, Dennis. We don't want to start off like that.
I didn't say a word.
Good heavens.
How about that?
Yuckles.
Maybe the man in front, Mel. When you're in front, you do get those doubtful decisions, don't you?
That's true.
You've got to hold it, though, Dougie. He comes in and puts it through. What a start for the Blues from Whitnell.
So tomorrow morning, Jeff Geeshan waiting for the phone to ring. Already. Carlton by 6 points. Porter this time slaps it down. Powell still over at Powell. Hickmott dives into him. And that ball's not coming out. So ball up.
Hickmott twice now. Once at half-back, once across the centre. He really is, I call him the barometer of the Carlton team now, him and Hamill.
He was the star back in round 13, booted 5 goals and did the hard stuff as well. Missed him for a few games after that. Woden out of the congestion, kicking down towards half forward. Ratton looking for Fletcher. Had it knocked away. Chance for Melbourne. Well worked. The kick inside the 50 from Ward. Bounces down towards the pocket. Plenty of Blues back. Manton across the goal face. Beaumont smothered off the boot brilliantly by Bruce. Runs onto the ball. Snaps. Had more time. More time than he knew, young Bruce.
A lot of players come from a 90-degree angle rather than 45.
So the Blues going short out of defence. Manton. Silvani on Schwarz and Manton on Neitz is the way they've lined up, which is interesting. The ball to half-back. Oh, that's a good strong mark from Porter and a good sign for the Blues. Camporelli's in trouble, but he gets out of it as he has so often this year. Ward was late with the pressure. Onto the wing. Hume can break clear from here. Links up with Hickmott. Again, there's lots of space up forward. Whitnell over the top. Nicholson went crashing to the ground. Play on. Tapped away by Allen. The ball over the top. Here's Nicholson again. Woden with time. And gets Rigoni off half-back. Demons through the middle of the ground is where they should go and do. Collins, he can run as well. He's got the loose man on, as we saw, and half forward, streaming forward. Long kick. Ward! And the mark's been paid. And a little reverse kick. Can he get the Demons first? No, he goes with the Chris Grant left foot and gets the same result. It's a goal. Well, it looks like he's on Camporelli. Lined up on him when these two sides met last time. He got injured, I think, in the second quarter and couldn't come back. And after that, Camporelli and the Blues really took over. Free kick. We're going to Porter.
It hasn't hurt them yet.
So 50. That might hurt him.
Yes, young Walsh, who's been outstanding for them this year, will not make their coach happy. Porter, who's shown an ability to go forward in his few matches this year. Started in the ruck today with Allen up forward. And a goal on the platter here, surely, to put the Blues back in front of the MCG. So it's 2-1. 7-4 as far as inside 50s go.
Here's a beautifully weighted kick. Farmer across half-back, looking for White. Coming back is Porter. Oh, what a mark. Magnificent. Porter springs to his feet, comes out to Mansfield. Won't see many better than that. Mansfield, 75 metres out, sets it up very high. Ingerson in best position, forced to spoil. Knocked it down in front. Uze in trouble. Taken down by Hamill, comes to Hume. Hume in space, snaps a goal. That's better.
Freeborn's interesting, isn't he? A couple of almost goals. Wonder if Wayne Britton said out there, he's just settled down, son. It's called Be Aware.
Well, White gives them the chance, but Porter fumbling. White, oh, it was almost a throw. Blues called for it, not called. On the lead, and in front Powell, and he also has been a goal kicker during the year.
I think he'll get the distance, but he's not a real accurate kick.
He gets all the height in his kicks, doesn't he?
He does.
Andrew Mackay coming from out the back pocket then too, so they're actually taking him back very deep.
No matter who's got him, they're always pushing him back. Leoncelli's been involved as well. Kick 23 for the year, Powell. That's a great looking kick.
He does it to you. They do it.
24 now.
So ball up out towards the wing. Interesting start. Hasn't been classical. 3-2 to 2-2. White is up to win it down. That's classical. Into the path of a rampaging Farmer. Kicks from 65 metres out. Woden almost knocked away. Franchina gets the crumb. Silvani deep in his own defensive area, needs support. McKay's got it now. Rice to the opposite pocket. This will need to be precise. It is. Rice has got it. Nothing on towards the outer side. Has to check. Hume is running hard. McKay runs on. Robertson gave a contest. Well done. Socket off the ground by Ratton, out of bounds on the full. Melbourne free, 55 metres out. Rigoni's got it. Guy Rigoni. In fact, it's coming to Robertson now. And probably a better result.
Bit stiff there, Ratton.
Just bad luck.
Oh, it's a hard volley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Robertson comes back. Phoebe under pressure. Recovers pretty well. McDonald in trouble, out of trouble. They've come back to the wing. Ingerson back to Robertson where he started. And he's got the ball about 75 metres out. Plays on immediately. Probing kick inside the 50. Neitz was up. No mark. It falls to Beaumont. Beaumont towards the middle. Taken by Allen. Flirted with the idea of a hand pass. Hickmott is on towards the outer side. Didn't see him. Hickmott is still running up the ground. Not required. Hamill in front takes the mark.
Collins has been a good defender for them too in recent weeks. There's a good looking kick from Hamill as far as distance goes, but again, accuracy failing him. Hume 4, so nothing over the top outstanding. Collins has had 5 for Melbourne to be the most prolific ball winner on the ground. This man Camporelli, his 5th possession coming up, and he had a loose man, and it's Hickmott who could run on and score, but he uses Lappin instead. Lappin steadying and kicks well.
Yes, Hume off. Mansfield patched up and back on. Lappin probably saving himself with that goal. He stayed on. Porter goes up, thumps it down. Freeborn at the second attempt. Here's Lappin again, tracking it out towards the boundary. Phoebe got into his back, no free. Uze tackled off the ball, affected the kick, only went 10 metres. Camporelli unloads now, long kick. Hamill goes up, fisted away. Whitnell to Crum. Was that too high? Ball jarred out of there. Houghton charges in. Over the top goes Collins. In there is Hickmott, met very solidly.
Which I've seen paid worse for free kicks.
Bounce 25 metres out. Houghton goes up, directs it down. Nicholson trying to dive on top of it. Phoebe, Powell. Now Collins, nicely worked. This is White. Comes up wide towards the wing. Woden will need to go. If we've learned one thing about Porter, it's the courage he's got to go back after the footy. Franchina from the hand pass. And now Hamill from long range to increase the lead. They're looking better. This one hasn't got the carry, not quite. They contest a couple of metres out. A whistle and a free kick, I think, is going to Carlton. No idea what that is for. But Lappin a chance to put his second goal in the space of 2 minutes.
I think he went down relatively early in that contest.
Same angle, much closer. Hits the post this time. Amazing thing, pressure. Demons looking anxious. The high ball from McDonald. Great mark again by Porter, putting his stamp early on this game.
Look at Blighty smile here, Dennis. He loved this bloke.
Seen as the backup coming in. He's front line and centre at the moment. Camporelli couldn't hang on. Knocked down by Phoebe. Collins quickly away. Walsh, that's better. Kept their heads. McDonald, looping hand pass. Leoncelli feeds it back. Rigoni. Leoncelli needs a kick now. Not the best kick. It wanders up towards half forward. Farmer, awkward bounce. Ricocheted off Neitz, taken by Powell. Back towards Neitz. He soccers off the ground. Bruce gets it across to Gergic. Gergic swings it down towards full forward. And the Ox. Schwarz has taken the mark in the pocket. And he needs to be patient.
Gergic just came on the ground, straight off the boundary line and straight into the act.
Different runs around. Nimble as you like. A nimble Ox. He kicks the goal.
As we get ready to start the second quarter from the MCG. The second qualifying final. Blues with a narrow advantage. Uze, the first kick, but as you saw, just off the ground. Camporelli under pressure, but gets it to centre half forward. Ward in front and does well.
I'll just give the quick benches here. It's Porter, Freeborn, Houlihan, Houghton for Carlton.
Collins onto the wing and Gergic taking it and unloading it. Now Neitz is one out. He's in front. Great spoil from Manton. Powell has the best chance here. He's going to be run down. Did well to get the handball. Leoncelli across the body. Schwarz in front. The ball dropping. Silvani. So 4-4 playing 3-4. Allen the tap. Again, it's a scrap and a fight. Powell quickly onto the boot. And very quickly through the middle. That's his second.
Allen and White go at it. White up very high. Knocks it forward. Mansfield. Nicely done. Spinning out of trouble. Allen again. Brown. Now Camporelli. In full flight. A couple of bounces. Runs to the 50. Can he finish? Wide of the mark this one. Bounces out of bounds in the opposite pocket.
Well, when you're a kid, you've been told that if you're in under enormous pressure, go to the boundary sort of type thing. Disguise it.
Across to Powell. Powell towards midfield. Nicely done. This is McDonald. Lays it off. Bursting up the ground is Walsh. Trying to draw a man. Comes wide to Gergic. Back over the shoulder. Well worked. Walsh from about 65 metres out down towards Bruce. Controls it with his feet. Gets it on the up to Schwarz. Open goal. Oh, that was clever. He's got two.
What did you think of the Schwarz body language here? This bit.
Here we go. David Schwarz. He's clear, Malcolm.
That.
Well, do you want me to honestly tell you, do you?
Yep.
I don't mind, Mel. What's your opinion? Yeah. What's yours?
I reckon it sucks. I reckon you flirt with your form and you flirt with the opposition. I've seen many a game turn because of that. There's no need, Doug. I mean, you've got an easy ball. Why would you shove it in the opposition's face? Just go and kick the goal.
Fraser Brown on and straight into the action.
Why stir them up? The only thing that can go wrong with that...
Fiddle there, right. And I think work perform, as you said. Yeah, I think you've got to be careful.
Yeah, but if you go... Oh, gee, you're handling with fire there. Dealing with fire.
No, you've got to be pretty confident in what you can do for the rest of the day.
Well, he's got to kick 8 or 9 now. Slaughter.
Oh, good luck.
No, they've got to win.
Exactly. 5-4 to 4-4, and we shouldn't miss the brilliant work from Bruce either. It was outstanding. The Demons in front, and suddenly the pressure back on the Blues. And Hickmott's kick, Whitnell will take the mark.
This is a big kick, actually. And there's a bloke down the other end that playing full forward for Melbourne will be nearly choked if he gets this.
Well, he does.
And rightly so.
Allen and Schwarz. Beaumont pushing Gergic, little kick. McKay, Woden, crunch again. Silvani got the kick away onto the wing. Ratton from behind. Great work, Collins takes them on. Likewise, Fraser Brown. Fierce stuff, it's where he loves it. Ratton up to 50. Whitnell in front with him. Ingerson close to Favola. Was he held? Surely he was held. He was.
I was going to make a call on this before. Nicholson might not be able to play full back. You know, we're talking about getting him back there. He's now there. He just, some blokes get it as we look at that free kick, definite free kick.
Oh, who's gone Fraser Brown? No one. He strolls in and kicks a goal. Blues back in front.
Yeah, Schwarz has just taken himself off the ground and just changed his shorts. I think he just lost the elastic around the top there, so he'll be back on the ground shortly.
He wants a phone, but he wants to talk to Malcolm. 6-4, 5-4. Bud's back in the middle. White goes up, slaps it down. Ratton knocks it out of the congestion initially. Uze hurriedly onto the boot. It bounces down towards half forward. Bruce came up to meet it. Still Bruce sliding in there was Hume. He missed it. Bruce digs it away. Hume. Mansfield now kicking down towards half forward. Hickmott is up in front. Couldn't complete the mark. Camporelli, brilliantly done. He spotted someone at the corner of his eye. It was Lappin. Will the ball stay in? 3-on-2 deep inside 50. Lappin takes on the tackler. Runs into an open goal and gets it. Great poise. He's got 3.
And the runner out to Brendan Favola for that little...
No, Simmons is coming on.
Thing that he did earlier, not going to footy.
Yep, Simmons onto the ruck. Blues heading forward, but not for long. Uze just goes out wide. Oh, very tough out there for Schwarz. Again, outnumbered. And the Blues coming away. Aaron Hamill through centre-half back, and now McKay.
McKay generally uses it well. Ratton had to wait. He'll get a free kick. Plays on. Kicks inside the 50. Lappin again. He's causing all sorts of problems. Heads for home. He's kicked another one. It's out of bounds on the full.
I was about to say Jeff Farmer needs a bit of lift, but he's been taken from the ground, and Brad Green's on.
It's a big lift there, off the ground.
Yep.
Leoncelli taking it, 20 points the margin. Goes to the wing. The Demons need to take a mark inside 50. Could this be the time? Oh, yes, it was. Green.
Houlihan on.
Watching Bruce take the mark and then kicking it into the pocket. And now we've got Adam Uze. What a crucial kick for the Demons. No. Oh, maybe still a chance. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Peter Walsh looking for options as you would.
You've got to kick on the left foot, wouldn't you? Boomerang.
Yep.
Well, that man, Hume, can't be 10 metres away. Doesn't matter.
Oh, he's done it. What a kick. What a kick from Peter Walsh.
Sorry, Dennis. Great shepherd there by Franchino. Melbourne's gone forward twice. I think it was young Green and Rigoni. Missed their targets, turned the ball over. You've got to find your target.
Well, they did that hard. Silvani is off the ground. Hickmott on for the Blues. Powell, can he get a clearing kick? Well, he had nowhere to go. In the end by hand, Johnson, can he just get it with him and take it away? He held it for a long time. Then there was no one there but Carlton players. They can raffle it. Eventually, Beaumont can unload and send it long. Not much on offer, but Lappin! Well, there would have been a few nervous moments after the earlier call. Didn't pay the man in front that time. Phoebe away. And now Collins from half-back can go short, and it's okay. And Johnson, who has been very busy, as we suggested, after he came on. Rigoni through the middle. Oh, he took him on and didn't get clear of Houlihan. Must be holding the ball. Great stuff, Houlihan, who's only just on the ground. And the umpire bringing it back.
I haven't seen so many mistakes in the final. I mean, I've seen some... it's just amazing the decision-making of some players.
Hickmott kicks inside the 50, and Camporelli's taken this mark about 40 metres out directly in front. Stephen Silvani Headed for the rooms. Only 44 seconds to half-time.
Ankle, yeah. Dibber caught an ankle earlier, Mel, yeah.
Camporelli, meantime, to increase the lead. It's currently at 15. This one just away to the right. Carlton probably, well, certainly, should be further in front.
And he hasn't broken the game open.
They've had a few nervous moments from their kick-ins, Melbourne, though, haven't they? Rigoni takes the mark. We're down to 20 seconds, so they'll just hope to survive. Mightn't do that yet if McKay...
Oh, no one's touched it.
Came from the second kick, Melbourne. So it's out of bounds. 8-8-56 to 6-4-40. 12 seconds only remain.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Typical coach, Mel. You're always looking ahead.
Haven't changed that rule, have you?
We're all human, Mel. We're all human.
Of course.
It took to the first week of the finals, but Blighty has made a mistake. Camporelli over the top. And that will be all, you would think, with a couple of seconds remaining. It's half-time at the MCG. Carlton in front. They could be further in front. It's 8-8-56 to 6-4-40.
Welcome back to our flashback, the 2000 qualifying final. At halftime, it's Carlton over Melbourne by 16 points, but you get the feeling the D's aren't quite done with yet. Let's hear again from Neil Kearney, who's with Matty Lappin and David Schwarz.
Matthew, you had 20 disposals, kicked 3 goals. One of your better games, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, I remember...
Not that you didn't have plenty of better games, by the way.
No, look, I remember it was a really good start to the game. I felt like we had all the momentum early, but we didn't quite take our opportunities, and you know, that was made it for an interesting game.
Runs into an open goal and gets it.
Well, your opponent that day was Stephen Silvani in his 23rd final. He'd be a hard man to play against, wouldn't he?
Oh, he wouldn't get a game today. He used to hang on and scrag and hold you back, but he was a fair player.
Do you reckon he'd get that game today?
He was a champion. You play to the rules that you're allowed to play to, and the umpires let it go, so that's how he
In all seriousness, he was a champion.
The other bloke who worked really hard was Aaron Hamill. He was fantastic.
Yeah, he was. He was in his prime. He was young, he was energetic, he was physical. He had a real impact on that game.
Now, there was a moment in the second quarter, Ox, where you kicked a nice goal running into the goal square, but you waved the ball back at your opponents before you kicked the ball. From memory, Malcolm Blight responded fairly seriously to that, saying that you were lairising. It sucks. You don't do that to your opponents.
No.
How did you read that?
Let's be honest. Malcolm's a little bit different, and in his own famous words, I don't give a rat's toss bag what Malcolm Blight thinks of things like that. But you know, I guess at that stage too, as a final, we were behind. I hadn't had a kick all day, so I had to let my opponent know that I wasn't gone and there was still a little bit of footy left.
So, if you look back at it, does it sting you when you see Malcolm?
I don't like it at all. I don't like watching other players do it, and when you do it yourself,
what would you teach your son if he was to do that?
Oh, he wouldn't play. You're a bit like that too at times.
Never disrespectful like
when
that.
When you took Mark...
No, you could move the ball around and...
That was genuine excitement, though.
Oh, was it?
Genuine excitement,
I reckon you might have raised the ball up when you took Mark of the Century.
That was a smile, just a smile.
Start of the second half, bounce down, White goes up, taps it down, Ratton grabs it, kicks down towards half forward, Hickmott leads in the race, closing quickly is Ward, favoured by the bounce, gets the hand pass away to Collins, Collins forward of the back pocket, kicks it towards the outer side, Johnston almost, Hume falling to the ground, played it brilliantly, Beaumont goes off his step, high ball back towards half forward, Hickmott launched himself from behind, and he's marked about 55 metres out. Favola wants it out to the left. It comes in that direction. He created some space, but a poor kick. Nicholson knocked it away. McKay taken to the ground. Jarred out of there. Walsh spins out of trouble. Comes back to Collins. Uze will go with the right boot. Not his preferred option. Wobbles it outside the 50. As a result, it's come unglued. Ratton, open goal, beckons wide of the mark. It bounces down towards the goal line. Leoncelli takes it across. And those figures way down on what he normally does. Shane Woden has had a very good season by any standard. 6 times this year 30 or more possessions with a top of 34 against Geelong round 21. Hasn't seen much of it today. Fraser Brown deep, pulls it back. How will it bounce? Took a Carlton bounce. Ingerson coming back, holding his breath in midair.
Well, Demons forced to go short again from their kick-ins, as they have been for much of the day. Haven't been able to get too much penetration. Walsh. Nicholson pushing out wide. That's where he's going. Whitnell will come over the top and take it well. So it opens up again for the Blues with Whitnell, although Melbourne have got plenty back in defence. And Whitnell finding it hard to find a target. That's not too difficult though. Lappin is off and might have got himself in trouble, but he had the poise to just get it onto the left boot.
Anthony, just call the footy.
Here's Ratton from 40 out. No mistake there. Blues on top.
Now it's starting to get awkward as far as the Demons are concerned. White gets it down into the path of Powell. He was knocked over, so too Hume, and he's going to get a free kick. Hume in the side for Bradley, alongside the centre circle. No doubting that one. Men on towards half forward. Hume slow to move the ball, but eventually gets it to one of them, Hamill. He seemed to be there for an eternity. Aaron Hamill, 60 metres from goal. 64 plays 40. Melbourne on the ropes. Can Carlton finish them off? Whitnell will have a try from 20 metres out. 7 marks today for Lance Whitnell, kicking at his 3rd goal. Under a cloud all week. I think he's missed it. He's missed a couple close in.
McDonald overran it. This man has made very few errors for the day. Camporelli setting it up for Whitnell again. Good spoil that time, Ingerson. McKay had the pants pulled down, but he kept his composure. Hamill, it's a low bullet, and it is deadly accurate.
Carlton's defence has taken 17 marks. Melbourne's only 8. They're lacking a marking option down their forward line at this stage.
Schwarz. Farmer. Can he provide something? He goes for the little pass, and it was pretty good thinking. Margin at 31, and it has been reduced significantly by that kick. In the 3rd quarter, Allen, White, Rice, Camporelli again. Must be getting sick of it. Gets it down, Whitnell not quite. Ingerson. Uze, which way will he go this time? Closer to the boundary, yes, and he actually finds his man. So they're away. Leoncelli kicks it to half forward. Good pushing and good shoving. And Cameron Bruce has been excellent at just doing that. Schwarz might go to the square. No, he goes for the pass, and it's good to Green, and he's closer to goal this time. So he might be a better matchup for Manton as far as the Demons are concerned.
He's got a bit of the Matthew Lloyds about him, hasn't he, really?
Yeah, he has. Yeah. Same number 18.
Fair rep for Brad Green.
He's got red in his jumper.
And he's got about 75 goals to go. And they all help.
The wall of blue across the centre of the MCG. Beaumont to Fletcher. Good talking dipper. Fletcher, 60 metres out, sets it up. Hamill attacked it hard, but going back with courage is Walsh. Clock running down to 3/4 time. Just over 2 minutes to the break. Walsh towards the outer side. Now a chance for Melbourne. Powell to Uze. Uze forward of the wing. Kicks to half forward. Camporelli sensing the danger. Getting across in front of the leading Schwarz. Camporelli off his step. The experience. It's been in evidence all day. Around the outer side. The long kick from Houghton inside the 50. Offhands Nicholson to Powell. Slips it away to Walsh. Walsh left half back. Schwarz. Uncontested. Squares the ball. Poor effort. Surrounded by Melbourne players. Franchina slipped in to take the mark to Ratton. Ratton down towards half forward and Hume. Will they pay the price here? Hume spots a man just inside the 50. Houlihan. He had about 3 choices.
To just make it very, very tough. Although that mightn't make the distance. It wobbles and wobbles. And still a chance. Trying to keep it alive. Fletcher, Houghton. Well tackled. Was it holding the ball? It was. Just wasn't quite sure whether to have a shot or whether to handball it there.
It'd go 35 yards, that kick. Lucky.
White on the outlet. 74 playing 53. They've got 25 seconds to try and score a goal. Green a long way up the ground this time. Goes long to centre half forward. Beaumont did well to come through, but Robertson, Woden, quick look over the shoulder. Farmer's down there. He's got 10 seconds to do something. Instead, Dean Rice takes it. And that will be all for the third quarter as far as scoring is concerned, unless... No. Siren sounding. 10-14, 74 Carlton. Melbourne 8-5, 53.
In the third quarter, I think the D's got to be 5 goals down. Yeah. And at one point, you kicked the ball to a young fella, Brad Green. Hadn't played much footy at this point in time, but by gee, he made a difference, didn't he?
No, I just remember him arriving at the club and they're all saying that he should have played soccer, that he should have been a Man U. And I think even if you visit somewhere overseas when you're a young kid and you've got a bit of talent, you're labelled to that sport. So we all thought...
He did get headhunted by...
Yeah. So he was one of those players, and we didn't know much about him, and had a beautiful left foot and got a good set of hands and a good lead. But gee, some things opened up for him in the last half, and he kicked a goal, and all of a sudden we believed that we were half a chance.
Now, I'm sure you won't mind us asking you this, but could you take us through that goal where you ran around Sauce?
Yeah, I vaguely remember it. It was...
of course you remember it.
Yeah, well, I won't go all the way through, 20 minutes prior, but I'll just do the last couple of seconds. No, I got the ball and basically there was Sauce and the goals, and that was all. I only had to get around one, but
he's not an ordinary one. He's a pretty nimble sort of character himself.
Yeah, he is.
Even though you're the nimble ox.
He's pretty clever, but Skinny, you played basketball. If you can sell a bit of candy to anyone, and sometimes when you're 6'4" and 110 kilos, they don't think you're going to take them on, and I don't think Sauce expected me to sell it out there, and it was like that, and then come back in and around, and yeah, it worked out pretty well, and was able to kick it. I was about 4 metres out. I was pretty confident at that stage once I got around him that I'd slot it through.
And you kicked a couple of ripping goals in that second quarter.
Yeah, look, I got into some good spots to receive, a couple of nice easy ones. Adrian Hickmon, a good mate of mine, gave me a nice handball to kick my first goal, and actually missed the easiest one out of all my shots that day. It was a set shot from, in the goal square virtually. So we wasted a few opportunities that day.
Did you love the big stage?
I enjoyed playing at the MCG. Obviously, when you play for Carlton, you get to play in front of some really big crowds against Collingwood, Essendon. A lot of finals early in my career at Carlton, so there was some big games, and I enjoyed those.
So we're going to have a look at the last quarter, but at three-quarter time, it's the Blues by 21 points. But Ox, momentum is swinging your way.
Start of the final term, 10-14, 8-5. What can Melbourne muster? Down by 21 points. Opening bounce. White tried to step around Allen. Allen slapped it down. McDonald shrugs off a tackle. Taken high. Must get a free kick. And they make no concessions, Carlton. Franchina pouncing on McDonald as he went to ground. McDonald thinks about it. Comes out wide. Phoebe meters in the clear. Can take it and go. Steve Phoebe's away then, running down towards half forward. They need some marking forwards. Green has been the best of them. He's marked it again. Well, he's been really the only forward for them that's taken a mark overhead. Bruce on the lead.
He's a left footer.
Yeah. Here's Green from 20 metres out. No, just the way he moves. A long way to go yet. Melbourne need this goal, and he obliges. Great start for the Demons.
So the Demon supporters making plenty of noise. Can they get a run on? Carlton looked to be away when they led by 5 goals, but now suddenly they're within striking distance, perhaps, if they can get it out of the middle. Still they have a chance. Ward didn't give it up, did well, kicked it to a contest. Bruce has been out-marking Mansfield on most of the one-on-one situations, and again he goes to Green, just overrunning it. Beaumont's his opponent now. Well wrapped up, very well wrapped up. And the umpire had the whistle to the mouth, but he wasn't willing to go through with it. And Brad Green argues the point.
Would have been a very courageous decision to give that against the player there, the Carlton player.
He didn't really drag it under. It sort of fell under, didn't it, more than anything?
Seen 15 like it today. If he pulled that,
here we go.
He should have been pulled off.
He drags it in.
Yeah, he's trying to tap it out. Yeah, trying to tap it out. Yeah, it goes out.
Comes out.
Yeah.
Yep, no,
Good decision.
So, 40 metres out from goal. There's still a chance, Leoncelli. Bruce this time couldn't take it. Farmer, can he give them something? He's got about a metre of space to work in. Phoebe just got the ball where he needed to, and again, it's Green. This time, though, the angle is very, very tight.
Have a shot, son.
He's told by his experienced captain and vice-captain, have a shot.
It's an easy game if you're forward. No one actually puts any pressure on him when the ball comes in.
He stands with the margin at 15. And now it's reduced. What a kick from the young Brad Green.
Green, 3 second-half goals. That last one, a terrific kick. White, the margin just 9 points now. White goes after it again. Leoncelli falls on top of it. Carlton down towards their half-forward line. Off the ground by Camporelli. Lappin picks it up 30 metres from goal. A hand pass too slick. It wanders down towards the pocket. Collins pursues it. Controls it now, Collins. With some time. Took too long. Dragged down. Holding the ball. Well, he had time. He wanted more. Carlton deep in the pocket with the free. Favola applied the tackle. He's got the kick. A youngster at one end. Kicking a fine goal just moments ago. Green. Can Carlton respond in kind? McKay realises the importance of Green, but now the Blues chasing a goal. Favola misses near side. It's all happening at the G. 75 plays 65. And that's a token of respect in its way. One of the best men going around. McKay a little bit rattled by Green. He's testing him. He's testing him on another level. Meanwhile, at the opposite end, Carlton being tested. Johnston pops it out wide. Nicholson up towards half-back. They need to keep their collective heads now, Melbourne. Nicholson, the high ball. That's a terrible kick. Whitnell camped underneath it. Walsh gave a contest. Powell wrapped up immediately by Beaumont. Spills across to Uze. Hurried kicked out a half-forward. Brilliant pick up by Fletcher. He was pushed in the back, and he must get a free kick.
So Fletcher from half-back. He's got Mansfield in short, or he might go longer. No, hesitation. Margin is 10 points at the MCG. We've been going 6 minutes in the last quarter. He goes high, looking for Whitnell. Ingerson right there with him. Made the spoil. He's done a great job. Johnson can take it away. He's done a good job since he's come on. Powell, a wobbly one, a tough one to mark. Great defensive work by Manton. Allen, a handball. Watch out. He just got the handball away. It was great. McKay, well wrapped up. The pressure's starting to show. Bruce, can he kick a goal? He went quickly. And he kicks the goal. They're in it now. Oh, they are in it now.
We saw the jousting of Green and McKay. It may have been Green's concentration that held. And McKay's that snapped. It was a poor hand pass. Most uncharacteristic. White goes up. Gets it down to Powell. Melbourne dig it out of the centre again. Down towards half forward Leoncelli. 55 metres out. It bounces down towards full forward. Green taken down by McKay. Held in there. And a bounce about 20 metres out. Great fight back by the D's. Carlton leading by just 4 points. Melbourne doing well in the centre. Schwarz emerges, gets it away. Is that a free? Farmer's over the ball. Plenty of company going nowhere. Eventually emerging with it, Leoncelli kept it going. Hume, though, in the opposite direction. Houlihan drives it around the outer side and bounces it out of bounds. Boundary throw in. The atmosphere here, and now the big finish coming up. Allen slaps it down. Hume on his knees. Gets it out eventually, taken by Schwarz. 52 metres from goal. Appeared to be tripped by Hickmott, who was on the ground. It was quick thinking. Schwarz going nowhere. Beaumont over the top. Eventually Mansfield gets the kick up towards midfield.
So now the fight on for it in the middle of the ground. Phoebe, Brown got in his back. Or holding the man. That's the decision of the umpire. Won't pay the advantage. Collins was trying to escape with it. It'll have to come back. Phoebe. No one on the mark.
And Jeff
Now
White's
there is.
found room.
Yeah, but he's not in a direct line towards the goals. Everybody is forward of him, and now he goes to White. Everybody is forward of the kicker. White into a very crowded forward line. Farmer! Oh, he climbed the heights. Couldn't take the mark. Was that hanging on? No, it wasn't. Bruce still goes again. Farmer trying to apply the pressure. Ratton kicked it away.
Farmer's hurt himself, boys. It was like a hamstring or something.
Well, I'm not surprised. He was so high.
Well, he had to be penalised anyway, didn't he? Fletcher kicks it up towards the wing for Vola, spoils. Houlihan's hand pass untidy. Ratton tries to knock it across to support. Everybody is falling down. Rigoni grabs it. High ball back towards the middle. Oh, great mark, Liancelli. Wanted to go. It wasn't paid. He tried to hand pass it. Nothing doing. The bodies go in. Powell at the base of it. Ward is pleading his case. The umpire wants it. Well, the umpire's letting them play. But what about Farmer moments ago? This has to be a free kick, doesn't it? Yeah. On the way down as the ball arrives.
Yeah, pretty ordinary, Dennis. I have to agree. Got to give the bloke go for the in front some chance.
You don't have to agree. There's Ward. You sound so unhappy. Ward down towards half forward, bounces it out. A throw in. And Carlton now absorbing some punishment from Melbourne.
Let's go back to that third quarter now when, Carlton really had the opportunities to nail the game. And if you don't, at this level, next level up, you can get burned on the way back.
What a frenetic start it's been to the last quarter, and it's been all the Demons so far. Suddenly the pressure right back on the Blues, and so many players are getting around the ball. In this last quarter, Melbourne have had 19 kicks to 8, and Carlton 11 handballs to 6. So possession-wise, the Demons certainly inside 50s, as you can see there, on top. And on the scoreboard, they've cut the margin back to 4 points. Just outside 50, Rigoni charging through. Franchina suddenly with no one to go to, with Woden on the bench. Schwarz throwing himself around. Hickmon under pressure. Camporelli, brilliant stuff. Releasing Franchina onto the wing, still to a one-on-one contest. Ingerson just desperate. He's been that way all day, and they might get away. That's a fierce tackle on Walsh. High tackle.
Wow.
Let's have a look. Well,
very stiff, Franchina.
Very stiff. 11 and a half minutes gone in this last quarter. 4 points the difference. It's the big one on Sunday afternoon.
Walsh down towards half forward. Meets on the lead. Manton, who's been his master, knocked it away. Ratton nicely done. Mansfield deep in his own defensive area, up towards the wing. Lappin, the game he's played. Carlton needing to steady. A goal would be terrific. Over the top for Bowler, spilt it. No second chances now. Collins latches onto it, hooks it across the body up towards the wing. Helped on its way out there. Knocked across the line. Boundary throw in.
And Matty Allen coming off, Dennis, and Porter looks like he'll be finishing off the game for the Blues. And Hamill's still in trouble on the bench stand here. We won't be seeing him back on the ground.
Walsh gained about 15 metres with that thump on. Schwarz, clean possession. The confidence mounting with every possession for Melbourne. Liancelli hard against the line, hoisted high inside the 50. Neitz needing a mark, and he's responded. The first time today, one-on-one, he beat Manton. Manton's been terrific, but Neitz has got the footy.
Farmer's
Green wants it towards the middle. Farmer is back in the square, but Neitz with the darting eyes settles. The side trails by 4 points. Still plenty of time. 11 and a half minutes to go. Who will play Brisbane? Who will get the rest? Who will grab the psychological advantage from this one? Neitz deep. The man on the mark will meet him halfway. This would be something. A captain's kick. Can he put Melbourne in front? David Neitz from on the boundary. It'll fall in short. Schwarz was up. Bounces off his chest. Hume hand passes towards the line. And that will do for a moment.
Yeah, what they're doing here, the D's at the moment too. Jeff White's playing a kick behind the play as that loose man behind the play. And what they're trying to do now is trying to find White with a switch kick. It could be on.
Schwarz trying to do it himself. Was always going to be under pressure there. numbers with the Blues, and they're out of trouble just for the moment. Mansfield using Whitnell, who's got some space in front of him, but not much else. Not much else at all. He just drives it long, looking out wide for Favola, but he was outnumbered. And they made a bit of a meal of it, the Demons. White did well, but only for a moment. Suddenly there's Blues swarming everywhere, and they wrap it up. And eventually the umpire will have to blow the whistle. 50 metres out from goal. Suddenly it's Carlton into attack. We're not even at the halfway stage of this last quarter, though, so plenty of time. Carlton in control for almost all day. Unbelievably lead now by just 4 points. Porter trying to get them forward. Beaumont around the body. It's one-on-one stuff down there. Good work. Nicholson left his man and found his man in Johnson, who's away with a couple of players in support, and Rigoni on his own on the wing. He looks up. Again, it's all one-on-one stuff up there. No extra men back. Farmer, Rice. Oh, a little fumble from Farmer. Rice tumbled over the line, and it's out.
Anthony, just watching that ball up here, which Porter won the toss, won the tap, and did it beautifully. As soon as that happened, the kick went forward. All the Melbourne players just peeled off out wide, backing their men to get it. And when you really can't kick the ball under pressure in that situation.
Oh, Farmer, he was devoid of space, and the Blues, didn't get away. Camporelli, lucky not to be pinged for holding the ball. Long kick needs, almost, not quite, and the ball out of bounds.
They're trying to get Favola off the ground, so Houghton will move far forward here.
Camporelli, let's have a look at this. He had plenty of prior opportunity. Did he get a hand to the ball or a foot? No, he didn't.
Well, what about a high tackle?
Bit high from David Schwarz,
one way or the other,
Bit high.
Had to be one way or the other. The ball in the square and in the danger area. Uze has scored. They are in front.
I don't reckon they've come from nowhere, Anthony. I mean, they were 4 or 5 goals in the day's footy. It's not disastrous. Carlton just didn't score the goals they needed.
Just didn't appear to be playing well, Malcolm, did they? Malcolm just didn't appear to be playing well, and Franchina now has got the job on Uze. He did a great job, of course, on Shameway Roden.
It's not
4 goals in the final term. Melbourne have got the lot. White goes up, fisting down towards half forward. Silvani leads back in the race. Kept his head. Mansfield didn't, smothered. Ricochets towards Bruce. Silvani again. Comes out to Bruce. He's over the ball. Green surrounded. Very slick. Mansfield kicks into a teammate this time. It comes back to Green. He snaps at his 4th. But I think he's got it. 4 since half time. Yeah.
Well, we've all seen games change, but when you get a very experienced player like that, get his kick smothered late in the game twice, you will certainly pay the penalty.
I just reckon, Malcolm, maybe that lack of awareness around you. I mean, once again, there, Michael Mansfield. For a veteran, could be better than that.
Well, there's Michael Mansfield. And that is the scoreline, 13-5 to 10-15. Still 9 minutes of actual time to go. White thumping it. Ward, they're just winning all the one-on-ones at the moment. Streaming forward, Ward. Long kick, lace out. He's got it again. He has got it again.
Hey, you can't... You know that bounce then? That annoys me in this game. I mean, it's supposed to be a 50-50. Have a look at this. You tell me that's cricket and I'll play fair. That's garbage for umpires. They should recall them. That'll cost someone a grand final soon.
Well, in the meantime, Brad Green could kick his 5th. Almost reminds you of Matthew Lloyd, the way he's kicking these goals. 8 points is the margin. Melbourne are blitzing Carlton. Will the momentum continue? No. And just as it cost Carlton dearly in the 3rd quarter and the 2nd, perhaps that sort of miss
Look at this.
Melbourne.
I mean, give someone a chance to get there.
What a shocker.
Well, at this time in the game, I mean, umpires, Jeff Geeson, if you're listening, give it away and throw it up. Why mess a game up with that?
Him personally. Hume around the outer side, low down. Allen
Yeah, Allen just come back on the ground now. Dennis replacing Porter.
84-75. Melbourne on top. The stakes are high. Allen chips it up towards the wing. Coming on a hard leader, searching leaders. Beaumont tumbles to the ground. Squares the ball. Silvani. No dog for a hard road. Pushing up. Mansfield. Well, his last two kicks were smothered. This one he goes close to. Tantalisingly close to Farmer, but hasn't worked out almost to mark the Houghton. No free kick. Powell grabs it out of defence, spirals it towards the outer side. Brilliant effort. Farmer hit the ground running. Uze bounding around the outer side. How's that for brilliance? Uze and Farmer working in tandem. Farmer short to White. Didn't carry. White falling to the ground. Tries to get back across towards Farmer. Didn't come off. And as a result, the moment passes and the ball comes out to Beaumont from Franchina.
Hamill off the ground too. If you look at his game today, I mean, it's been a disastrous loss for him. Take out Koutafidis, take out Bradley, and I know Melbourne have had a couple of injuries. They've been pretty settled for most of the second half of the year. I mean, all that starts to eat into you a bit.
Well, it has. And Freeborn going long. Ratton, 1-2, not quite. Silvani to ground. Demons everywhere. McDonald found a path through. They're handling the ball surely now. They weren't early. Ward then does and smothers. Johnson, handball back to Ward. Powell just couldn't get it to his left boot. Goes again. Well done. McKay, though, strong. Trying to charge through. They'll hold it up. It'll suit the Demons. 6 minutes 40 on the clock, and still it goes.
I think you're right, Hutto, about early in the game they couldn't find their targets. I think the one word we can use maybe is a lot of confidence. They're just confidence, just high at the moment. They're all playing very, very good footy.
Schwarz, well done out of the ruck. Houghton trying to get them moving. Ratton, earlier he was breaking clear. Now he's wrapped up.
Malcolm, Melbourne certainly haven't changed their game plan. They just want to share the ball and just get the run through the lines.
Yeah, Jeff White's got some beautiful whacks forward, just kind of confident in running.
Bounce inside the centre square. The big man lock up again. Schwarz dropped the ball at his own feet, goes after it in the opposite direction. Rice, eventually it comes out to Hume. Nicely worked across to Fletcher. Fletcher's long kick well inside the 50. Bounces off Silvani. It comes across to Phoebe. Well played by Ingerson. Phoebe goes out wide. It's missed out there by Rigoni. Camporelli and Rigoni, the battling paisanos. When the ball goes out of bounds, we'll have a throw in.
It's amazing, Dennis. 3 attacks forward as we watch this little fun ball there. Straight through.
The look away mark.
Yeah, Favola, Houghton and now Silvani have almost marked the ball in their forward line, but they haven't. They've dropped them. It's a difference. Tight.
Camporelli tied up by Leoncelli. They're all there. Unmoved. Lee Matthews looking on. His side will play the loser. At the moment, it could be Carlton. Just over 5 minutes to go. 9 points the margin. White goes up only as far as McKay, who trundles it across the boundary line. Another throw in.
Got to kick 2 goals really to win it, don't they?
And they're struggling up forward. White has been brilliant in this final term, battling with Allen. Ratton at close quarters, got it away. Hume off his step, kicking down towards half-forward. It's very gloomy now. Over the top, Ward couldn't hang on. This is Houlihan. Gets through, 40 metres out. Houlihan. There's a sting in the tail. Houlihan gets the goal.
You know, I think everyone thought that this game would be the best toss of the coin odds as we talked about at the start of the game, Dennis. And it certainly turned out like that. At stages, you thought that Carlton had under control. You even thought at stages that Melbourne had under control. And it's really, it's uncharacteristic goals that are going to do it, though. You can't see a big mark coming from anywhere. It's really just running the ball forward and hopefully getting a crumb.
So Woden back on the ground and Walsh off.
3 points the difference. Carlton led by 6, 16 and 21. Now find themselves trailing by 3 points. Who got it out of the middle? Johnson well wrapped up. Well wrapped up. 4 minutes 45 on the clock. And it's a nervous time for all concerned. David Parkin and Wayne Britton. Allen. Nothing clear. McKay back in the middle, back in the heart of play. Johnson thumping it away. Powell got a tough bounce, left it behind a little bit. McKay strong but couldn't take it. Schwarz has fought back from his earlier lairish play and hits the ball towards Green. Not quite able to find him. Beaumont kept his feet, did it well. Free kick, and it is going to Carlton. And Fletcher takes the result and has got it at half-back and can run with it. Runs his measure to half-forward. Whitnell one-on-one with Ingerson. Good spoil again, Ingerson, but Ratton. Suddenly the Blues, perhaps, got a bit of confidence back after kicking a goal. It's all wrapped up for a moment, but Camperelli emerges.
Oh, look at this.
Hume all on his own.
Oh.
The world ahead of him, Darren Hume, and he didn't race it. No, he didn't. He finds Lance Whitnell. And Whitnell, who was excellent early until he had Ingerson move on to him, has been quiet since. He's kicked 2 goals too and has taken 8 marks. Now has the chance to put them back in front.
Great vision, Camperelli. He's had 24 kicks. Brilliant vision.
So the Blues have responded in the best possible way.
Oh, some game.
What a quarter. Whitnell's kicked 3. Carlton back in front at the MCG.
And it is still not over. You wouldn't actually like to still call it. I mean, fantastic, wonderful play from Camperelli. And Hume, I thought, would have kept running. He didn't. And this is where Whitnell's at his most dangerous, when he can cut the angles and work the space. And he missed an important goal in that third quarter, kicked the point, which really could have almost got away, skipped them away. And it's a great kick in the end.
Was he in the selected side, Hume, or did he replace Bradley?
Replace Bradley.
He's had 29 touches. Yeah. He has been outstanding.
Scott Camperelli likewise, 29 touches. The rucks go at it. Allen and White, still plenty of time. Forcing a passage, Uze inside the centre square. Kicks downwards, full forward. Going back is Neitz. Getting a fist on it. Down there was Manton in from the side. Mansfield. Loose ball in the pocket. Leoncelli snaps a goal. Melbourne back in front.
Well, the script continues. This is unbelievable.
This is why, Malcolm, this is the best game in the world, football. It is just a ripper. Have a look at this.
Well, we were talking
goal.
off here at 3/4 time. It had been a pretty ordinary game, a game of mistakes. Yeah. And yet this last quarter has been amazing. Melbourne back in front. 14-6 to 12-15.
Centre bounce so important. Allen really needs to get his hand on the footy here.
3 minutes to go. This one favours Allen, but White with the momentum. Hickmott, quick kick, Blues into attack. Whitnell, not quite. Lappin wrapped up. Ingerson doing 2 jobs there. Made the spoil and then produced the tackle. We're under 3 minutes. It's getting dark at the MCG.
Good as hands off the ball today, Hamill, hasn't he? I mean, he's
Whitnell,
just that pressure, extra pressure.
Well, Allen got the tap, but Uze Woden has had a horror day, but he's back on the ground now. Penetration, Neitz, the captain. Just couldn't get it on the second bite. Blues turn. Here's Lappin off half-back, working it well. Houghton's kick to centre half forward. Whitnell. Can Ingerson spoil again? Didn't have to in the end. Woden outnumbered, terribly outnumbered. Did well to get Rigoni. Now Leoncelli, and they are away. McDonald up to half forward. It's very wide. Green kicked 4 goals and had 4 opponents. Swings it inboard. Leoncelli looking around. There's 2 minutes to go. The Demons. It's a long time to play keepings up for. Schwarz decides he won't. Goes long. Keeps it in towards the boundary. Farmer! Not quite. Bruce, can he pick it up? Farmer's got it. He's outnumbered. Goes towards the boundary again. Green, I'm sure, will take it over and does. 1:45 on the clock.
Farmer a bit stiff there too. Appeared to be held by the arm.
Yeah, you're right there, Dennis. It looked like his arm was held.
Yeah, I think so. The one nearest Rice. Boundary throw in. Melbourne by 3 points. Woden reaches over the top. Hurried kick. High ball wanders down towards the boundary line. Was it touched?
Yes.
It was just inside the field of play, and that's a great result for the Demons. 1:37 remaining. Both coaches riding it out now. So much on the line. Schwarz and Allen.
Carlton to win it, Dennis. I'll have to switch play.
Knocked out of there by Leon Shelley across the goal face. Bruce, an unlikely hero, the rookie. The rookie. Melbourne by 9 points. A pair of unlikely heroes embrace Green and Bruce. They've made their mark on the season. They've made their mark on the second qualifying final.
Well, it just proves, Malcolm, you're never out of the game. I thought Carlton was stages where Carlton were just going to win the game and win the game fairly easy. I think I mentioned they've missed some easy shots for goal. They kicked 12 goals, 15. Melbourne 15 goals, 6. That's the difference. The kicking goal let them down, Melbourne.
Yeah.
Well, Carlton led by 21 points at three-quarter time. Now they have to kick 2 goals in a minute and 20 seconds. Schwarz is going to try and stop that. Rigoni. Jose to unload to the square. Neats. Didn't take it again. Here's Ratton. The Blues, the transition has to be quick. There's still time if they get it down and then get a goal and go again. Out wide, well chopped off Phoebe. Every little kick, every little handball, every little lunge. So important at this stage. Ward takes it into safety and out towards the boundary and down to Bruce again. Cameron Bruce takes the mark and he'll take his time. And unless they do something incredibly stupid, Melbourne will be through to the preliminary final. What a comeback. A stunning comeback by the Demons. 15-6-96 to 12-15-87. Cameron Bruce just going long into the darkness, into the pocket. Allen trying to keep it going. Beaumont well tackled Gergic. Pressure on the Blues at every turn now, and the ball out of bounds.
It's got away, and they know it. They can taste it. And he's celebrating. A sweep. More to follow. Watch this space. Schwarz, clean possession, dying seconds. Feeds it in, looking for Woden. Thumped out of there by Fletcher. Spills across the back to Manton. Wait for the siren. The ball on the outer side. Great come from behind victory, Melbourne. D is for delighted. They were down by over 30 points, and they have prevailed.
Melbourne by 9 points. We're with David Schwarz and Matthew Lappin. And Ox, the Melbourne supporters would have loved that.
Oh, I remember coming off the ground and they were full of voice. Our supporters aren't as probably as vocal as some, but gee, I tell you, that day it was so loud coming off. It was an amazing win. We really feared Carlton. We really believed that they had the strength to go all the way. We played Essendon during the season, who'd had a really good run, and we thought we could match it with them. But Carlton on their day, we were super concerned. So to get over the top of them in a really tough game was very satisfying.
Matthew, I presume the Carlton fans weren't quite so generous.
Yeah, no, they weren't, mate. It's probably feels like one that got away. Obviously, we had momentum and we couldn't make the most of it, and Melbourne got on a roll, and to their credit, they finished us off. And it doesn't matter whether you're playing footy today or 10, 20 years ago, bad kicking's bad footy.
I've heard some rousing renditions of club songs, but It's a Grand Old Flag was pretty strong that afternoon.
Oh, was it ever? I remember Brad Green was in the middle there, and for a young man to do what he did in that last quarter, to really take those opportunities, and he did. He slotted the goals that he needed to, and
kicked 4 in that second half.
I remember Wizard. Yeah, he did. I remember Wizard in the circle, and he had his head down, and I remember the coach Neil going up to him and saying, "Mate, don't worry about your performance today. We got the win. You can bounce back next week." And I think that's the beauty of footy. In finals, if you get a second chance, you can come up next week. And
Wizard being Jeff Farmer, and he kicked 8 the next week, didn't he?
Yeah. Away goes the Wizard! A good player. He was a great player for Melbourne.
And Cameron Bruce, that was a terrific.
Yeah,
effort.
Cameron Bruce, and look, Cameron Bruce and Greeny are still going around today. So, they're earmarked very early on.
That doesn't make you feel so old when blokes are still going around.
Exactly. Well, Brucey came off the rookie list, and Greeny was plucked from Tassie. So, yeah, 2 great stories.
Now, Joe Gutnick, we saw him there, president at the time, ploughed millions into the club, I think, didn't he?
Plenty, millions and millions.
What was he like?
He was generous. He was very generous.
To you?
Yeah, no, well, Schwarz is a very Jewish name, so we got on really well. Joe was a really good bloke. Didn't know a lot about footy, but he was passionate. He had his heart in it. And anyone who puts in, I think he put in over $3.5 million. Anyone who can do that, you got to give him a pat on the back because they tried. Didn't work out, but that's just a part of Melbourne's history forever.
Well, Matthew, how was David Parkin's jugular after that game?
Yeah, it was out and pumping. We were obviously very frustrated with the loss, so I'm sure he told a few players a few home truths about the one that got away, but unfortunately there was nothing we could do about that.
You fitted in nicely at that time. You won the goal kicking the next year, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. I think I kicked 49 goals the next year, so I was just in a forward line where the ball came down from some quality midfielders, so that's the way it goes.
Now, your agility stood out with that magnificent fake around Silvani. I mean, how is the body now? How's the groin?
No, the groin's good.
Knees?
The knees are good. I haven't had surgery now since
Ankles?
97. Ankles are great.
Peak
hands,
form?
yeah,
Fitness?
Brilliant.
You had a ruptured tendon in the ring finger that year, did you?
Yes, I did, yes. I did. How'd you know that?
Oh, I heard. I've talked to the medicos and they say that you're probably back in the peak of form and fitness again, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
So
down.
do you think that if we were to set it up now, you could probably repeat that moment of absolute grace and splendour?
Once. I've only got one effort in me.
All right, Matthew.
Do I have to look at it again?
Let's go.
Righto, let's go.
2000 qualifying final, second quarter. Schwarz is on a very tight angle. Silvani obviously has fallen on hard times. Standing the mark. Oh!
Just runs around, nimble as you like.
He's kicked it. He's kicked it.
You're a better forward than a defender.
Well done, Ox. Congratulations. Still the nimble Ox.
Nothing wrong with
Thanks,
that,
mate.
Malcolm.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Right, Skinny.
Well, the nimble Ox has still got it, but judging by that huffing and puffing, it's a good thing he pulled it off first go. Time now for the modern-day Blues and Demons to strut their stuff. Up next, Carlton meet Melbourne at the MCG as Sunday footy continues here on 7.